SCMP comments as, Russia and North Korea pact dooms US hopes of Indo-Pacific dominance, as deepening Russia and North Korea ties test US and South Korea deterrence strategy. The Taliban tell the West. SCMP comments as, Russia and North Korea pact dooms US hopes of Indo-Pacific dominance, as deepening Russia and North Korea ties test US and South Korea deterrence strategy. The Taliban tell the West to look past harsh edicts on Afghan women and girls and build ties. China, Australia donate buildings, airstrips in Pacific influence race.
There are no Fortune 100 CEOs who are supporting Donald Trump, says Yale's Jeffrey Sonnenfeld. 16 Nobel Prize-winning economists warn a second Trump term would reignite inflation. Bill Gates believes U.S. business environment can face uncertainty if Trump wins, reports Bloomberg.
Biden to pardon veterans convicted under former military law banning gay sex. Judge halts further student loan forgiveness under part of Biden's new repayment plan. PPE worth £1.4 billion from single COVID deal destroyed or written off. 5 months ago, it had been reported that UK government wasted nearly £10 billion on unused COVID PPE, figures show.
Asimov, UAE mediation efforts succeed with exchange of 180 captives between Russia and Ukraine.
Gandhi takes leader of opposition role in India's parliament. Justin Trudeau suffers shock by election defeat in Liberal stronghold. Russia bans 81 EU media outlets in tit-for-tat move.
In the first presidential debate, Biden floundered, while Trump, let's just say it, performed with confidence and angry flair, as AP comments that, Trump confident, even when wrong, Biden halting, even with facts on his side. Vavin and Lexus say prank call to Joe Biden possible. Recently Russian pranksters release clip of hoax video call showing David Cameron discussing dinner with Trump, Kiev's NATO bid and a possible labor victory, believing he was talking to a former Ukraine president. 10 servicemen involved in coup attempt arrested in Bolivia, as Bolivia coup attempt fails after military assault on presidential palace, and Lavrov condemns coup attempt during phone call with foreign minister of Bolivia, and Bolivia's president calls claims he was behind attempted coup lies. Kennedy suggested intervening militarily in Brazil to remove Jango from power. Indians lost over €12 million on rejected Schengen visas in 2023. Lula says he wants Brazil to have a standard of living equal to that of Sweden and Germany, and not like that of Cuba. Ipsos comment says, Happy Canada Day. 7 in 10 Canadians, 70%, think Canada is broken as Canadian pride takes a tumble.
Religious leader wants to display Indian scriptures in Louisiana public classrooms. Oklahoma State Superintendent directs schools to incorporate Bible, 10 Commandments in teaching. DeSantis said he cut Florida's arts funding over sexual festivals. Germany irks EU leaders by resisting joint defense funding. No French troops to go to Ukraine if Bardella becomes PM, says Marine Le Pen. Reform UK is losing support because candidates are saying stupid things, says Farage.
Biden falters in high-stakes debate, Trump spews falsehoods, as Democrats question Biden's candidacy after disaster debate performance. Trump says Biden siding with Hamas, leading world straight into World War III. Dollar edges up as markets view Trump leading election debate.
Donald Trump challenges hush money conviction hours after immunity ruling. House Republicans sue Attorney General Garland for access to audio from Biden's interview with special counsel Hull. John Dean says Nixon would have survived Watergate under immunity ruling.
Nigel Farage boycotts BBC over question time blow-up. Germany asks citizenship applicants to recognize the right of the State of Israel to exist. Donald Trump crushes Joe Biden in first debate polls. Nigel Farage's speech interrupted as led by donkeys protesters lower in Vladimir Putin banner. Trump says he'll accept 2024 results if they're fair and legal, while airing false 2020 fraud claims. France votes in election that could hand power to far-right.
Bloomberg comments as, replacing Joe Biden is a fantasy Democrats must abandon. Republicans advance contempt charges against Biden's ghostwriter for refusing to turn over records. North Korea's Kim Jong-un badge is worn by officials in public for the first time.
Pakistani court sentences Christian man to death for posting hateful content against Muslims. No Muslim representation in India's cabinet as Modi starts third term, and it had been commented as, Muslims in India continue to be targeted by emboldened mobs under Modi 3.0. Singapore prepared to recognize Palestine if it renounces terrorism and accepts Israel.
Politician Bjorn Hoek for using Nazi slogan. Marine Le Pen's far-right National Rally Party leads in first round of French election, and violent protest against far-right National Rally erupt in Paris as Macron urges tactical voting. Twice as many Britons want tax rises as want cuts, survey finds.
Orban. Allies announce right-wing Patriots for Europe alliance as Austrian far-right. Hungary's Orban form new EU alliance. Portugal's far-right joins Viktor Orban's Patriots for Europe alliance. Jean-Luc Mélenchon will not be PM if left-wing alliance wins majority, Greens candidate says. The conversation comments as, the far-right has surged to the lead in France's elections. But forming a government remains a tall order.
In the US, state social media laws aimed at protecting conservative users remain blocked, Supreme Court says. In Spain, adults who want to access porn sites must have a 30-access digital card valid for 30 days. In Argentina, government proposes lowering age of criminal responsibility from 16 to 13.
Trump amplifies calls to jail top elected officials, invokes military tribunals, and Liz Cheney fires back at Trump after he calls for televised military tribunals for former Congresswoman. Ahead of election, Venezuela's Maduro says he has agreed to resume negotiations with United States. 39 died, over 350 injured in Kenya's anti-tax protests.
Trump has some immunity in D.C. election interference case. Supreme Court rules. 2 of Donald Trump's golf course liquor licenses not renewed. Trump seeks to toss New York felony conviction after immunity win. And Supreme Court rules former presidents have broad immunity, dimming chance of a pre-election Trump trial. Supreme Court impeachment plan released by Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Biden warns Supreme Court presidential immunity ruling is dangerous precedent. The Nation comments as, the president can now assassinate you, officially, and Huffington Post comments as, Supreme Court gives Joe Biden the legal okay to assassinate Donald Trump.
X. Bitcoin whale pays off almost all Assange's $500,000 jet fees in single transaction. Kraken CEO Jesse Powell donates $1 million in Trump campaign.
Bolivia officially legalizes crypto payments for banks, as Bolivia lifts ban on Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. UAE dominates global crypto adoption, Vietnam surges to second. Bitcoin extends losses after U.S. government sends $240 million worth of BTC to Coinbase. SEC loses bid to classify BNB secondary sales as securities. U.S. judge lets most of SEC case against Binance proceed, dismisses secondary sales charge. Nigeria's cryptocurrency market surpasses $400 million, says SEC Director General. Vitalik, but Erin says crypto regulations have created anarcho-tyranny. Bloomberg comments as, boring Bitcoin sends weekend trading volume to all-time lows. Banque de France, Hong Kong Monetary Authority explores CBDC, tokenization. FBI announces, up to $5 million reward offer for information leading to arrest and/or conviction of 10 most wanted fugitive, cryptoqueen Ruja Ignatova. Indonesia detains 103 Taiwanese in a raid in Bali involving suspected cybercrime.
In Ethereum hodling, 78% of supply locked in diamond hands. Nvidia soars 2,782% in 5 years, outshining Bitcoin and Ethereum. token merger of SingularityNet, Fetch.ai, and Ocean Protocol goes live.
Circle snags first stablecoin license under EU's new MiCA crypto rules. Crypto custody firm Anchorage offers investment returns through deal with Cumberland-backed Hashnote. Sony gets ready to launch crypto exchange in Japan, with acquired Amber platform.
Cryptocurrencies granted legal status in Turkey under new crypto law. U.S. Marshals Service announces partnership with Coinbase to manage and dispose cryptocurrencies.
Crypto-friendly Silvergate Bank pays $63 million to settle charges with SEC, Fed, California regulator. Roaring Kitty lawsuit over GameStop is withdrawn for now. Recently, Roaring Kitty's favorite meme stocks are tanking as the trader faces securities fraud claims over past social media posts. Hackers stole $176.2 million in crypto in June.
Is on a turn as Russian ties deepen. The conversation comments as, Russia has become so economically isolated that China could order the end of war in Ukraine. The Guardian comments as, when power shifts, so does the money, megadollars fill labor's coffers.
Philippine fried chicken giant Jollibee buys South Korea's composed coffee. Online shopping warehouses are creating new American boomtowns. A new Trump Tower is coming to Saudi Arabia in 2028.
Visa, MasterCard $30 billion swipe fee settlement rejected by U.S. judge. Spirit Aeros plants and focuses Boeing, Airbus near deal to carve up supplier, and Boeing is said to offer stock to buy Spirit, preserving cash amid struggles. Norway pension fund exits Caterpillar stake on Israel links. Volkswagen signs deal worth up to $5 billion for Rivian Software, EV tech. Nvidia sees around £339 billion wiped off market value in 3 days sell-off.
Bank of New York Mellon sues to liquidate Sino-Ocean for $400 million debt and interest. Taiwan warns against travel to China, Hong Kong, and Macau amid execution threats. Putin's top banker warns crippled economy facing ruination after crushing China move. 3 days ago, Commercant reported that Bank of China halts payments with sanctioned Russian lenders. Russian non-oil and gas budget revenues to reach 12.5% of GDP, announced by ACRA, and Russian oil and gas revenues set to rise by 50% year-on-year in June, Reuters calculations show. Japan's Topix index reaches highest intraday level since 1990. IMF credits Zimbabwe's economic stability to gold-backed ZiG currency.
Uvalde cops, who stood idle as 21 died, charged with child endangerment. Survivor of Parkland school massacre wins ownership of shooter's name in lawsuit settlement. Biden border restrictions bring sharp drop in illegal crossings.
Sold tech and consumer stocks while buying banks and energy, says Goldman. Bay Area technicians' layoff surge has slashed salaries, report says. The new M5's hybrid system weighs almost 900 pounds. Nearly half of American EV owners want to switch back to gas-powered vehicle, McKinsey data shows, and EVs fare poorly in JD Power Quality Survey. Ram and Porsche top the rankings. Ferrari plans $7,500 hybrid EV battery service subscription.
The Economist comments as, Keir Starmer should be Britain's next Prime Minister. Number of UK income taxpayers leaps by 4.4m in 3 years, due to threshold freeze.
NFL socked with $4.7 billion plus verdict in Sunday ticket case, league to appeal decision. FTC finalizes order with Avast banning it from selling or licensing web browsing data for advertising and requiring it to pay $16.5 million. Uber and Lyft agree to pay drivers $32.50 per hour in Massachusetts settlement.
Sam Altman-backed Rain AI hires Apple chip vet to lead hardware. AMD talks 1.2 million GPU AI supercomputer to compete with NVIDIA, 30 times more GPUs than world's fastest supercomputer. SoftBank shares rise on $1.86 billion debt offering as CEO talks up Super AI.
Asian version of NATO. North Korea slams joint drills by US, South Korea, and Japan. China has natural say in choosing next Dalai Lama, Tibet experts tell Beijing Forum. For China and Peru, Boluart meets Xi Jinping, cooperation advances from Chancay to Shanghai. Chinese EV makers race to Southeast Asia for growth amid U.S. trade war. John Deere announces mass layoffs in Midwest amid production shift to Mexico. Fisker to recall over 12,000 Ocean vehicles.
Alarming Google study of Gen Zers claims they're spending their time mindlessly in timepass mode. Italy's Mondo TV fined $538,000 by U.S. Treasury for producing animated shows in North Korea.
Firms from Middle East, Europe are eyeing Hong Kong IPO thanks to cross-border schemes, claimed UBS. Bloomberg comments as UK becomes safe haven for investors spooked by France chaos. China launches rail service with Europe via Russia.
Ancient bronze bells, Han Dynasty frog among 14 cultural relics returned to